Independent versus dependent variable. The independent variable is a condition that is changed by the experimenter or whoever is controlling the experiment and is not affected by anything in the experiment or situation. An example of this could be time. The dependent variable, on the other hand, depends on the independent variable if the two are correlated or linked. Changes in the dependent variable occur as a result of the independent variable if they are related. So this could be like the growth of a plant if the independent variable is the amount of water you give it. Now let's talk about how this is plotted on a graph. Most of the time when you have an XY axis, the independent variable is plotted on the x-axis and the dependent variable is plotted on the y-axis. So pretty much the go-to is that the independent variable is on the x-axis and the dependent variable is on the y-axis. So going back to the example of sunlight and plant growth, our sunlight, say hours of sunlight per day, and the plant growth, let's say millimeters of growth, would be on the y-axis. So now the question is, how do you plot these? So basically, if you have, let's say, a table or a set of information, I'm going to write plant growth, PG for plant growth, and SL for sunlight. And also, it would be easier for you to have your X on the left side and your Y on the right side, but I'm weird, so I put it this way. So then let's say for 4 hours of sunlight, we have 4 millimeters of plant growth. And then let's say for 6 hours of sunlight, we have 6 hours of plant growth. Well then, how do we plot this on a graph? Well, we'll find the independent variable first, which is sunlight. So let's find 2 hours of sunlight on the graph. So let's say 2 hours of sunlight is right there, and then there's 4, and then there's 6, and 2, 4, and 6. So then we'll find 2 hours of sunlight on the x-axis, and then we'll go up to the amount on the y-axis. So we have 2 hours of sunlight, and we have 2 millimeters of plant growth, so our point would be right here. And then for 4 hours of sunlight, we would have 4 hours of plant growth, so our point would be right there. And then for 6 hours of 6 hours of sunlight, we'd have 6 millimeters of plant growth. And so that's what our graph would look like. If you're coming up with an equation, then you would go ahead and connect. You would go ahead and connect the dots. I'm bad at drawing lines. Thank you for watching Ruffled Feather Show.